Hey guys! Welcome to my channel. Today I will recap a movie called The Ultimate Limit, which was released in 2008. So let's get into it without further delay. So sit back and enjoy this amazing mystery thriller. According to a new program known as Prosperity Law introduced by the Japanese government, 1 in 1,000 young citizens is injected with a nanocapsule, which bursts at a specific time, leading to their death. Children are told that although they might not know who the one with the injected capsule is, they should not be afraid of the situation and think of it as a service to the country. One of the survivors of this program, Fujimoto, is recruited and trained as an employee under the maintenance of national prosperity law. On the final day, the chief explains that not knowing who receives the lethal nano capsule helps civilians understand the value of life. Soon after, the discussion is interrupted by another employee who disagrees with the chief's point of view and objects to the morality of the law because it cost his girlfriend's life, which he blames on the state. He further urges his fellows to side with him on this, but the security team takes him away. After dealing with him, the chief continues his discussion while revealing that people injected with the nano capsule receive a warning called Ikigami 24 hours before their deaths. So they can say goodbye to their loved ones. Although skeptical of the entire ordeal, Fujimoto unwillingly accepts the job. The next morning, the chief visits Fujimoto and hands him an envelope while advising him to take care of it. The envelope contains information about a person named Tanabe Tsubasa, whose time of death is listed as 8 p.m. After getting the instructions, Fujimoto visits Tanabe Tsubasa's house exactly 24 hours before his death and presents the warning letter to his mother. He also explains that the subject will receive free transportation, food, and lodging, while the family will receive a pension under the prosperity law. Initially, Mrs. Tanabe tries to deny it but later starts crying. Although she begs Fujimoto not to kill her only son, he ignores her request and leaves while reaffirming that her son is going to die soon. Meanwhile, Tanabe Tsubasa is a struggling singer trying to make his career. To add to his misery, a senior scolds him for his lack of effort, which leads to an argument, but Tanabe storms off. Tanabe returns home after a terrible day at work to find his devastated mother, who informs him of his death. Tanabe refuses to accept it, but she tells him she did not have a choice. Still, in denial, Tanabe goes to his room and starts thinking about his previous life, when he, along with his friend Hidekazu, used to sing on the streets while dreaming of performing in front of 50,000 people at the Tokyo Dome one day. One day, as they were reaffirming their plans, two people came over with an offer for the duo to work for them. They happily accept the offer but soon learn it's only for Tanabe. After accepting the offer, Tanabe joins Omega Music while Hidekazu struggles to make ends meet. Excited by his thriving career, Tanabe reveals his upcoming plans, which offends Hidekazu and leads to a fight between them. At present, Tanabe thinks about that day and complains about why he had to be one of the subjects. On the other side, Fujimoto passes by an election nominator while listening to the news about the death of another subject. While at work, the chief asks about his progress and admires the fact that he is getting used to his job. As the chief is about to leave, Fujimoto suggests the government should do something else to make the subject's last days more meaningful. The chief disapproves of his idea and warns him not to interfere in the subject's life because it can lead him into trouble. While they are busy arguing with each other, Tanabe intends to have lunch at a fancy restaurant, where he orders the best of everything. The waiter demands he pays the bills but gets scared as he pulls out his death letter. After lunch, Tanabe visits Hidekazu and apologizes for his past mistakes while wishing to sing with him one last time. Unaware of his situation, Hidekazu advises him to get back to work, which Tanabe hesitantly accepts without revealing anything. After the emotional interaction with his friend, Tanabe performs a music bomb while Fujimoto keeps an eye on him. At the same time, Hidekazu returns home while thinking about whether he should turn the TV on. Soon, he gets a call from Tanabe's mother, who asks him to watch her son's performance, as it could be his last big moment. Upon his question about what happened, Mrs. Tanabe reveals Tanabe's death letter, which urges Hidekazu to run for TV, where Tanabe is reminiscing about the good old days when they used to sing together on the streets. The interview concludes shortly afterward, but Tanabe aimlessly sits there, thinking this is it and his life is going to end. He then gets up for his last performance and opts for the song Signpost by Kamastuna, the same one that he used to sing with Hidekazu. With his magical voice, Tanabe casts a spell on the audience. Hidekazu also starts singing along while Tanabe's mother, Fujimoto, and everyone else listens to him, but his time runs out. As he finishes the song, his time runs out, and he falls and dies, while a voice narrates that Tanabe Tsubasa died at his appointed age, which was 23 years. The next day, Fujimoto goes to his chief and gives him his report on Tanabe's case while the chief is reading a newspaper that has a headline that says that Tanabe pleads for his life in his song. When the chief expresses that the song got a huge response, Fujimoto says that if he had released it sooner, he would have become a star like he wanted. The chief says he thinks that Tanabe only felt fully alive for the first time in his life when he sang that song, and what made that song shine was Fujimoto's ikigami. Fujimoto disagrees with the chief, but he asks Fujimoto to think no further and says that people love melodrama and some make money by selling it. Meanwhile, two kids, a brother and a sister, are playfully talking with their parents in a car when they get into an accident that kills their parents, but it turns out to be a nightmare for the girl, who survived that accident in reality but lost her eyes in it. She is at an institute for blind people. The doctor tells the girl Sakura that the number of donors in the country is low and they don't know when her turn will come, so they tell her to wait. Sakura is visited by her brother Satoshi in the institute, who tells her that he wants her to go live with him and that it took him some time, but he is finally doing better. Sakura asks if it is okay because last time he said that he worked for a big company and then got arrested for selling spirit urns. He tells her that he has changed his ways now. Satoshi says that she should go to university, as he will pay for it and they will find a donor so she will be able to see again. She tells him that she doesn't mind staying where she is right now and that seeing things scares her, because she now imagines things as she saw them when she was younger, and what would she do if reality was different? He tells her that he can see her and that he thinks she is gorgeous as she is. They go for a walk, and as they pass by cherry trees, he tells her how her name Sakura means cherry blossoms, and cherry blossoms are little pretty pink flowers. In spring, they bloom all at once, and people enjoy themselves under them. They remember how they used to do this too and say that these are the flowers that make everyone happy. On the other side, Fujimoto gets his new assignment, a man named Takizawa Naoki. When he goes to deliver a death notification, he discovers Takiwaza is trying to commit suicide. He remembers that he is not supposed to meddle in the subject's life, but he still breaks into the house and saves Takiwaza at the last moment. When Takiwaza gets angry and asks him why he saved his life, Fujimoto shows him his death notification. Takiwaza laughs maniacally and says that it's great because that's what he wants in the first place. Soon Takiwaza's parents arrive. His mother is the same politician that Fujimoto saw on his way to work and who always supports the system, saying that it's a service to the country. Takiwaza's mother requests that he give a speech so that the voters are aware that he died in service and that this is a golden opportunity. Takiwaza kicks them all out. Fujimoto returns, and when he tells the chief that Takiwaza's mother is a politician, he finds that she was a criminal and served time in prison. Fujimoto is assigned the next notification, which is Izuka Satoshi. Takiwaza is sitting in his room listening to his mother's speech about how she is so proud of her son for giving his life to service when his father comes to him and says he may work with his mother, but he still wants to spend his last day with him and asks him to open the door. When he does not move, his father breaks it and sees that he escaped through a window. Takiwaza is walking on the road and remembers all the times his mother judged him. In his rage, he kills a security guard and is on the run. Meanwhile, Satoshi is out getting an apartment for himself and his sister, and when he returns, he sees the death notification that Fujimoto left for him. He goes to Sakura's doctor, who tells him that he can donate his eyes to her under the prosperity law. He asks her not to say anything to Sakura. In the hospital before the day of the transplant, Fujimoto comes to redeliver death notifications, but Sakura overhears them and refuses to go through with the surgery. She has learned that his death time is 10, and she informs him that if he is present at that time, she will have an operation, otherwise, she will not. On his way back, Fujimoto sees Takiwaza at the train station and follows him to his mother's campaign. Takiwaza shoots his mother, and chaos ensues there. Police shoot Takiwaza, and he dies 1 hour before his appointed death. Fujimoto comes to Satoshi and tells him that there is a way for her to be operated on, which is to set every clock in the hospital 1 hour forward, and as she can't see, she can be easily fooled. They talk to doctors who agree, but he is wary of the consequences, so Fujimoto says he will take all responsibility. They go to every patient and staff member to ask them for help and tell them to lie no matter what. On the day of surgery, they use every means possible to convince her that it is time for her to have surgery. Sakura goes into the operation theater, Satoshi dies at his appointed time, and the transplant is completed. As a punishment for going against the law, Fujimoto loses a year's salary and bonus and undergoes re-employment. When he tries to talk against the law, the chief tells him to keep his thoughts about this to himself till the time comes. People from Omega Music come up to Hidekazu on the street and say that they would like to promote him, but he refuses and tells them that he has no songs for them and starts singing Signpost. Takiwaza Naoki's news was kept out of the media, but his mother still lost elections, and now his father plans to run for city council and says that it might be time to get rid of this law. Sakura moves into a new apartment and discovers that it is surrounded by cherry blossoms. Thanks for watching the recap. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you don't miss any content from us. Stay tuned for more thrilling and amazing movies. See you soon. Bye.